Now this, beloved, this is what we all came here for. Let me just say, this episode was amazing. And from here on out, this should be the Rupaul's Drag Race All-Stars format. Like, this is what they need to go off of, because this episode gave me everything that I've been craving from this show thus far. And this was it. We got a full episode of the lip syncs. I wish we would have given them time to actually give us different runways, but I understand. But this is what we want from the show, because let's be real, when we go to a drag show, we want to see them lip sync. Unless you go to Hamburger Mary's Drag Queen Bingo, that's a scene, honey. We have a good time there. But normally, you want to see drag queens lip sync and perform. This is what we're here for. The other stuff that they have them doing, Jersey Justice, boo, all that other crap doesn't really suit them. So I don't know what's wrong with putting them in an element where they can shine, and just maybe for that episode, the best goes home. But I really feel like the format from here on out should just be lip syncs. It really, really should. It should be the best of the best, because this episode, phenomenal. Let's get into it. So the eliminated queens are back in the workroom, and can I tell you, they all look brown cow stunning. Gia, this is what I have wanted from you the entire season. The look that she gave, and you know what? Just even saying it, I'm starting to think that maybe these looks were not the drag queen looks. I think that these were looks that the show gave them. I think they gave them hair and makeup. I think they gave them outfits as well. I don't think that this was their garments, because they all looked great. And then throughout the show, when they had to put on their performance outfits, their makeup was different, their hair was different. It wasn't the same quality, and that leads me to believe that maybe the show did this so that they can all look fabulous during their return. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Since we're here, let's get into these drag queen return looks, okay? Latrice, gorgeous. To me, she was giving real fish, honey. When Latrice had that hair laid back, her makeup was so soft. It wasn't like in your face, you know what I mean? Like, who gives real in your face drag? Oh, the winner from last year. I always forget this drag queen's name. I don't know why, they're so popular. Y'all know what, the one that looked like Dolly Parton on meth, that one. She gives like in your face drag. Latrice was giving me like real fish. She looks great with her hair down. That is such a beauty, and it actually made her a little bit younger and slimmer. You need to always go with long hair, Latrice. It really, the waves, it looked beautiful on her. Stunning. Brown cow stunning, not so much. And you know what? In saying that I think that the show gives them these looks, then we get to Jasmine Masters, and I'm like, maybe not. If these are the looks that the drag queens brought to the competition, why were they holding out on us? Because these looks are really amazing. And the only one who was taking me out of it is Jasmine Masters, because she looks like she is going to a Black Baptist funeral. I mean, what was she wearing? And she came into this competition, came back into this competition heated. Like, she was sitting on 10, because Manila was trying to make a joke, like how they all shade each other. The queens asked Jasmine if there was anything that she would do differently. She's like, no, I wouldn't have done nothing different. And I'm like, Jasmine. And Manila was like, well, maybe you would have wanted to learn the words. And she was like, no, maybe I would have learned to have liked you, because I don't. And I'm like, Jasmine, nothing that Manila did or said warranted that reaction. But this is what I think about Jasmine Masters. Because on All Stars this season, she has disappointed me, right? I don't know her to be that kind of performer. I really, really don't. From what I've seen in person, what I've seen on YouTube, what I've seen throughout just going to different shows, she is a phenomenal performer. I think, and especially on her former drag race seasons, she brings it, right? I think this time she was just showing up to get a check. I don't think she wanted the crown. I don't think she wanted to go far. She didn't want to be in the drama, but she knew that being there a few days was going to get her a nice check, just even an appearance fee. So I feel like at this point, this show was just a check for her, not something she was really invested in, because I felt like the whole time Jasmine was checked out. Pheromone is back for just a few minutes and she's already crying. Cue Monique Hart, you're a grown man. Okay, so obviously both queens picked Valentina. Valentina, it just wasn't your week. You did not do the best in the competition at that point. But my girl Valentina was just like, She was telling everybody else that she did such an amazing job. And everybody was just like, girl, you are delusional. And so they kept on talking to her about her performance or whatever. And she was just like, well, I'm not going off of the judge's critiques. I'm just going off of how I feel. Valentina, she is a gem this season. She is a gem. And I love the fact that she is working the room and they don't even know it. They have yet to have caught on that Valentina is producing every scene that she is in. So now let's get into this Monique Hart and Latrice Royale. I was going to say spiff. Ain't that what Jamaicans call weed? What is it? A blunt? Spattle? Spackle? Spat. Spat is what I'm looking for. This Monique Hart and Latrice Royale disagreement. I am team Monique Hart. Love Latrice, but I am team Monique Hart. Everything Monique Hart said, I was for it because Latrice comes back in the competition, still sour, right? Monique don't feel no way. She's still sour. She thinks that she wasn't, what was the words that disingenuous. Like she felt like Monique wasn't real when she was doing all the emoting or whatever. I believed her. Yes, Monet X Change is her friend. Yes, she looks up to Latrice. Latrice just did not have the best report card, so it hurt her to send someone that not only she loves, but she respects home. I believed everything that she was doing. Monique Hart took it like a champ because Latrice, and I hate that she did this because she is so beloved, she looked so bitter. Nobody was on her side because her argument just was not there. It had no weight to it. It had no meat to it. Her being mad at Monique Hart for sending her home when she did not have the best report card. She just didn't have it. And then I look back to the episode where she was eliminated on. I'm like, Latrice, if you thought you had a better report card, why were you asking people to consider your seniority and not your performance? Because you knew it wasn't good. If you knew that you gave a great performance, you would have been saying that the whole time. She kept on saying how long she's been in the game and how long she's done it. And she would hope that people would consider that when thinking about the elimination. You only jump to other things when you know you haven't done your best. Period. Well, I just love Monique Hart because when she said the spirit of delusion, I said, yes. Only recovering black church kids know exactly what she was talking about. The spirit of delusion is in this workroom. Yes, it is. And it's falling on a bunch of queens. What did I tell you guys on the last review? I specifically said that it is going to be a battle royale of lip syncs. I knew it. I knew that that is what they were going to do because they now have too many people at this stage in the season. So they have to cut people in a mass number. So how can you do that without doing a lip sync for your life? I did, however, not predict that Monet X Change and Manila were going to be safe. I think that's a producer and Rupaul call because they have been doing well. And I don't think they want to risk losing two people who have given them really great stuff to film this season. And they also have a huge fan following. That's just, show business right there. So when that call was made, I was just like, yeah, I get it. I wouldn't cut two people who I think might win the crown anyway. Because at this point, I think the crown is somewhere between Monet X Change and Manila. Who do you guys think is going to take home the crown? Even after the new queens have entered, who do you think has it? Let me know in the comment section below. Can we just say vain? I love Pheromone and I love Valentina because the both of them are standing next to each other and they are having a conversation about why Valentina eliminated her. First of all, Pheromone thought that Valentina was going to say something different. She was just like, do you really think that I was the worst in the competition? And Valentina was like, yes. What did you expect her to say? It's Valentina, darling. So anyway, they are both standing next to each other, having this serious conversation. And can I tell you, the both of them are standing there, looking through the mirror, having the conversation with each other. Not once did they turn around and just have the conversation. They were just going back and forth through the mirror. We're like, yeah, girl, I meant that. You were the worst. Really? I was the worst? I was like, just turn around. We love a vain queen. And I'm really glad that Latrice and Monique Hart do not have beef to this day because when I watched this show, I was just like, if they didn't have beef, they gotta have it now. Like the beef had to be reignited because that read that Monique Hart gave about Latrice and her confessional, listen, it hurt because it was true. It hurt because it was true. And then we cut to Latrice after Monique is dragging her old school drag. We cut to Latrice in these dated French tips. Girl, listen, I am team Monique Hart in this disagreement because I just don't like Latrice being bitter. I think it tarnishes her brand and where she is within the drag community. I do not like that and I don't agree with it. However, Latrice got some one-liners. My mother said, "You may have won the battle, but I'm going to win the war. And if you didn't want this, you shouldn't have tussled with it." Listen, I hollered and I wrote that down. I said, oh, that's going to be one of my quotes for the year. You may have won the battle, baby, but I'm going to win the war. And if you didn't want this, you shouldn't have tussled with it. Now, Gia Gunn is definitely back to stir the pot. However, I'm glad that she's back stirring the pot with her head in the game, because in the confessional, she was just like, I had to realize who I am. I am a woman, but I'm also a fabulous drag queen. And I felt like when she said it, it clicked for her because she came back different. Yes, she was still messy, but homegirl was ready. And that is the Gia Gunn that we all love. And I think we deserve to see that during this season, because I feel like the people who don't know her from her season was probably going to walk away with this with a different idea than the fans of Drag Race who really know who Gia Gunn is. I love Manila. She loves as much camera time as Valentina, and she produces a lot of scenes as well. Because in this scene with Manila watching all the other drag queens get their lip syncs together and their outfits or whatever, Monet Exchange and Manila are safe. So Monet is clearly not into it and does not want to be a part of Manila's produced scene. But Manila's just like, who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think's gonna do what? I don't know who's gonna win, because everybody is so great, and just like really giving all these comments and, you know, eyes or whatever to like really play up this scene of how intense it is. Clearly to me, it was producer prodding, but Monet Exchange was not featuring it. She didn't feel like it. She was like, girl, I don't know, whatever. Girl, who knows? I'm just glad I'm safe. Like Monet was not into it at all. Let's talk about the runway for a bit. I'm not going to talk about it a lot because there wasn't a lot there, because a lot of the girls didn't really give great runway because they were more focused on their performance outfits, just because, you know, this was a battle, you know what I mean? So they were battle ready, and I wish we would have given them more time to do both. Or maybe they just wanted to keep their head in the game and voted against it. I don't know. But I'm like, we didn't need a runway then. Maybe they just gave us the runway to fill time, but I'm like, we could have done something else, because we really didn't need the runway, especially when Trinity walked down and we saw nothing. We just saw her in this super nanny overcoat, and that was it. You know what I mean? Like, we could have done without it. But I will say this. This is a great look for Rue. I don't remember seeing her in a short dress. The dress wasn't amazing, right? I was just gagged that it was short. I love that it was short because, you know, Rue does all of these gowns and it's like the same one shoulder Michelle Obama inauguration dress kind of aesthetic. And I was just glad to see her in something different. The hair and the makeup, though, no for me. No, I could do the makeup. The hair, this was the first time I've liked the dress and I've not liked the hair. The hair with those wedding clips, it was a no from me. But I'm glad to see you in a different silhouette, Rue. Really proud. And no, Michelle wasn't in green. She looked good, though. She looked good. I'm not going to talk about Latrice and them boots. I know those were her performance boots, but I hate when she puts on them Hot Topic boots. I wish she could find another boot to perform in. I get, you know, she a big girl, so she probably got to get a special shoe, but oh, the boots. And that Tanya Harding number, even in the performance, I didn't understand. She loves an ice skating dress. Latrice got a bunch of ice skating outfits for her lip syncs. I do want to talk about Monet Exchange and Manila's runways because they were safe. So I felt like they should have really given it. Monet didn't bring it to me. Like, I love the hair. I love that hair on her. Gorgeous hair. The dress, I don't know, maybe Monet has like hairy legs and she doesn't want to shave. I don't know what it is, but she keeps on putting on these opaque tights that are always a shade lighter than her, and so it takes you out of it. She needs to get with Monique Hart, because Monique Hart really knows how to get mesh coloring for like whatever dress she's wearing that matches her. No, it's not Monique Hart. Who is it? It's the other one, the one that did them butterflies. The Southern Queen that did them butterflies. Y'all know the name. Y'all write it in the comment section below. But she was really able to match up her skin tone with her mesh. Monet doesn't do that. And I'm just like, I know it's tedious, but you can even do it with some concealer. You know what I mean? Or some foundation. You could really have it match, and she just never does. It always is like 2 shades lighter, and it just takes you out of the dress. You know how sickening that dress would have looked on her if it matched her skin color? It would just look like these appliques have been pasted over her body strategically, and she just didn't do it. And I'm like, girl, I know you safe, but you could have given us something. However, maybe she's holding the wow factor for when she's possibly up for elimination. So I can't hate, but girl, I wanted something. Great hair though. Love that hair color. Now let's talk about Manila. Manila was safe. Look what she gave us on that runway. That spaghetti outfit, it was so Manila, but it was so top of the line. That's what I love about her. She really, like anything that Manila does, she does it from the top of her intelligence. Like everything is so well thought out. It's like, for me, it's top-notch drag. Like, this is what I'll pay for. I'll pay $75 a seat or more to see this chick perform, because I know she's going to give me something amazing and worth my time. Let's get into the lip syncs. So, Trinity versus Jasmine. Now, from having seen Jasmine Masters perform in person, when I saw that the song was Peanut Butter, I was like, oh, Jasmine Masters got this. And then the competition started. Then the song started, and Jasmine was just not into it. Great hair, didn't like the bodysuit, did not like how I felt like she just gave up. First of all, Jasmine didn't know the words. Trinity wasn't on the words like that, but she knew enough that your focus, that you were not focused on her not knowing, because you were so busy looking at the fact that Jasmine Masters knew nothing. Nothing. And I also feel like Trinity was cheating because she was turned around the whole time, shaking her behind. But I'm like, girl, you need to be turning around and giving us them lips too, and let us know that you know them words. But if you just weigh it, Trinity just did a better job. The reveal wasn't that great. I think it fit the song though, because she was shaking her behind all over that place, giving us how you got flabby silicone. It was moving weird. It was not moving natural, because it ain't. But she gave something. She really, I felt like she was fighting. And I didn't get that from Jasmine. And that is why I think that she was just over it. She just wanted her check, and then she was out. And I really feel like that's where her head was at. Because if Jasmine Masters wanted it, she would still be in the competition. Please believe it. I've seen her perform. And if I have the video, I'll probably put it up here. Homegirl killed it. We were screaming, throwing down, like, girl, yes, like, she can give a show when she feel like it. So I knew this was going to happen, right? I thought it was the dumbest thing she could have done, but I knew that Pheromone wanted to prove something. I just don't think that this was the time to do it. To go after Valentina, after you saw how she did that other lip sync, to me was the stupidest thing you could have ever done, Pheromone. Like, I don't know why. Like, I get why she did it. But it was like, girl, if you were going to go up against Valentina, you should have been ready. Because even though the song wasn't, what was the song? Kitty Girl, I believe? The song wasn't that much of a wow factor for me. Peanut Butter is my song. But Valentina did it. She was all over the place, making eye contact, giving us movements, like really in it, you know? And Pheromone, her hair was in her face the whole time. Then she had on this weird tinsel feather number that just looked a mess on the runway. I was like, girl, you're not giving us this. She's turning around and she's shaking her little cake. The majority of the performance, she's turned around, or her hair is stuck in her face. And the thing is, if you're going to whip that hair around, you better be able to control it. You better be able to do a Beyonce ponytail thing. Still to this day don't know how she did it. Somebody said she had magnets on her outfit and magnets on the end of the ponytail. Whatever. It's a look. It's a move that will make you gasp. Like, she just wasn't giving it. She was... So I'm like, were you giving up too? Pheromone just didn't give it. And Valentina, to me, gave something. And whatever the something that she gave was more than what Pheromone gave on that runway. So I was like, of course, watching it, I was like, Valentina, congratulations. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it wasn't really a competition. Because I just felt like Pheromone was not ready. And she confirmed it when she got on that runway and started all that swinging. The hair, the whole time. Like, how you think you're going to win? Gia Gunn and Naomi, they both should have stayed. It should have been a quadruple Shantae, you stay, okay? Because let me tell you something. I hated Gia's look on the runway, right? And when the song started, what was their song? I forget what their song was, but it had like a break in the middle of it, right? So when it first started, I was like, Gia, do something. Like, I didn't like that poof, whatever. What is that called? Well, I know what it's called, but I forget what it's called. You know, that Sex in the City skirt. And then this thing was this schoolgirl top. I was like, what are you doing? I love the ponytail, though, and I love the lip. That got me. Just the simple lip with the studs and then that high pony. Sickening, right? I was here for it. I wasn't here for the look. And when it started off, Naomi was already in it. The outfit, going down, making eye contact, scooting, like she was in it. And I was like, oh girl, Naomi got your beat, Gia. What are you doing? When the beat dropped and homegirl turned around and came out of that, pa, ta, 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 I was like, yes. Can I tell you, my family and I were watching it. I got them watching Drag Race. Yes, each one teach one. So we were watching it, and I'm telling you, we were all team Naomi. When Gia spinned around out of that outfit and came down and hit us with the pony, my mom was like, oh, I'm team Gia. My mom switched teams in a matter of seconds. One switch, one reveal, and my mom was team Gia. I was so disappointed that Gia couldn't stay, because that made me want to see so much more from her, because I felt like I said before, her head is in the game now. And I just, oh man, I was so disappointed because she gave it. She bam, and just came down there. I was like, yes, and then she took the ponytail. Yes, Gia, that's what I want to see. That is what I will pay for. And some people were saying that Gia Gunn picked Naomi because she was going around the workroom to find out who was scared, who she could take advantage of. I don't believe that. I believe that, again, this is another producer setup, that Gia had to pick Naomi because she couldn't pick Latrice and she couldn't pick Monique Hart, because we've been building up this whole time to them having a battle off. You know what I mean? So it would have been lackluster if Gia went up against Monique Hart. You know what I mean? And Latrice went up against Pheromone. Like, come on. We wanted to see Monique Hart and Latrice Royale go after it. Like Monique Hart said, is what you've been waiting for, America. Like, that's what we wanted to see. So I feel like it was kind of set up in a way where it was always going to go down like that, no matter what. Anyway, so they both go and get up on that stage, and they both give us double wig reveals. None of us was ready. Because this is the thing. Monique Hart, I love the fact that she gave us a wig reveal, and I love the fact that she's showing us that she's growing, right? With keeping her wigs down, because she knows Rue doesn't like that. My only problem with her wig reveal was that it came right after Latrice. And I wish she would have waited to the next part of the song to give us the reveal, because when Latrice did it, you were still gagging at Latrice whipping it and whipping off the wig, then whipping around the pony. We were still gagging at that the focus wasn't really on Monique Hart at the time. When she did it, she was still behind Latrice. So the wig came off and it was like, oh, okay. But then you go back to Latrice because she's still whipping it around the stage, and then she's dropping into a split. I was like, oh, these girls want it. My only problem with Monique is that she was ripping off these like glitter scraps of fabric. And it's just, I love her. I think she's a great performer. She's still struggling in the fashion area for me. Monet Exchange has elevated a bit, and Monique Hart has elevated a bit as well. But I feel like she's still gathering that coin, because a lot of the outfits are still giving me pedestrian. You know what I mean? And when you're on All Stars, no shade, you just want fabulousness like 24/7, like throughout the whole show. I don't want to see nothing that I could do, right? And so that was the only thing about that performance outfit, like I feel about Latrice's boots and this Tanya Hardin thing she had on. I get that she needed it to move, but I want fabulosity. It is what it is. This is All Stars. I want you to give me everything. And they did, though. They really, really did. I didn't think that Rue was going to do a double Shantae You Stay. I didn't think that was going to happen at all in this episode. I just felt like I was going to be hella disappointed if one of them went home. I was preparing myself for that. But when Monique Hart stayed on the stage after Rue said congratulations to Latrice or Shantae You Stay or whatever, when she lingered, I was like, she's going to save Monique. I knew she was, and I'm glad she did because I felt like they gave it. I just would have wanted Gia to stay as well because I think Gia did a phenomenal job. But I'm telling you, they left everything on that stage, and I was just like, from here on out, this is what I want. Like, I don't want them doing any challenges that is just not what they do. Like, why do you keep on taking them out of their wheelhouse to do things that they don't do? Like, I get it needs to be a challenge, but put them in an element where they know what they're doing and just add another risk to it or another height, like elevate it. You know what I mean? But don't put them in something that none of them do. And we watch everybody fail and we just feel so disappointed that we gave this show an hour of our life. You know what I mean? Keep this up because this was an experience. Anyway, I've seen the previews for next week. And can I just say from what I've seen, I don't think that it compares to this week's episode. This week's episode was amazing. Amazing. I was screaming the entire episode. So many reveals, so much shade, so much comedy, some great one-liners. Like, it was a really good episode. Dare I say, my favorite episode of the season. I really did enjoy it. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comment section below, and I will see you next week for the following episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars. Love ya!